I think it is fantastic that Senator Cortez Masto of Nevada is taking this on. This may be the next biggest mess in the American economy. Franchising has gotten so big, and there are so many people who are so scared and so quiet who are losing so much because the system is rigged against them, that as we start really talking about this problem, who knows what sort of explosion we're going to find. And I think it is fantastic that we have a senator who's finally taking it on, and that the IFA lobbyists aren't the only people talking to Congress about what's going on, so that we can get help to the real people who need it. But the reality is that no matter what changes are made by Congress, until changes are made in the inequality in the contracts, things aren't going to be too much different. Because whenever you have a situation in which there is such a power disparity, people will protect the powerful person in order to protect their own livelihoods. People will not speak up if they're afraid that in speaking up, they're going to lose everything. In order to have a system which doesn't create organizations of people that behave like cults, treating the leader as someone who's really important who they don't dare question, in order to have a system that has people who feel free to speak about what's really going on, that power balance needs to change. And in order to change that power balance, you've got to have an investment that doesn't require people to sign a personal guarantee just to get into it. Basically, the way things are right now is, in order to buy a franchise, everybody has to risk their own home, everything they have. What other investment is like that in the United States? And why are we surprised that this sort of corruption is going on? People should be investing a reasonable amount that has some sort of parity with what they're buying. They don't have to invest everything and then find themselves in a situation where the people around them are afraid because the leader might attack with litigation and everybody's got a scary contract. The contracts don't need to be that scary. The contracts need to be fair. And once the contracts are fair, the franchisors who aren't doing legitimate business will be less incentivized to get involved. Right now we have a situation where people can get involved no matter what little business they have and start stealing money from people who believe in the American dream. End that. Stop the false spreading of business. Stop the false expansion by taking people's homes. Allow the real businesses to expand by not incentivizing people who don't have legitimate money, ways to make businesses that are making money legitimately to get into franchising. And that can happen by making the contracts more fair. No personal guarantees. Get rid of those all-cap statements. People have a right to be able to say, I was defrauded, this person lied to me, the things they told me before I signed the contract were different than the things that happened after I signed the contract, and I can even prove it in this verified FDD. Once there's a system of accountability set up, and the power imbalance is shifted to a state of greater equality, this will clean itself up. Businesses will stop expanding falsely, taking people's homes. Things will be better. So yes, the legislation that Senator Cortez Masto is introducing is fantastic, because at least finally Congress is hearing a small piece of what's really going on in the industry. But this isn't going to get cleaned up until more happens, until the contracts are fair for both parties, and until people aren't terrified of the civil litigation that might happen if they speak up about the way they've been defrauded. Using the United States courts that are supposed to be here to protect our country and for the purpose of justice as a component of fraud costs taxpayers money, harms everyone. That's not what our courtrooms are for. Judges are too busy. Let's get rid of these cases by making it impossible for the franchisors to continue on in this kind of fraud. And the way to do that is to make the contracts more fair, verify the FDDs, have this become legitimate spread of business rather than illegitimate theft of homes of hardworking Americans and immigrants who believe in the American dream.